Like I said, I am glad for everything that happened to me. I wouldn't change a thing. I thank God for all of it. So truthfully, I think I'm lucky, I've been blessed. The reason I talk about these things is not to tell people I've had a hard life. It's to make it clear to people who are complaining about their own lives that the bad things that are happening to you are what you need to become the man that you want to be. I can't talk about women because I'm not one. I actually think trauma is terrible for women because it masculinizes them. They become cold. And that's not attractive, right? We want feminine, pure, protected women. I don't want a woman to ever go through anything bad in her life. I think a man should go through it for her and protect her, because I think that's how she's her best self as a woman. But I think to be your best self as a man is the absolute opposite. And when someone emails me and says, this has happened to me, how else are you going to become important? How else are you going to find endless fire to get up and struggle in the face of the competition that's out here in the world? You're going to do all that with a nice, cushy life? Think about the biggest transformative stages in your life. Think about the times you got the most work done. It was a bad part of your life. You were heartbroken, or, you lost a house, or broke, or whatever. That's when you did shit. When everything was fine, it's kind of doop-de-doop-de-doo. Do a little bit of work, do a little bit of relax. But the big events come from trauma. It's a cheat code to climb the mountain. So when I get a message from whoever and he goes, my wife left me, I'm devastated. I say, I understand. I completely understand how hard it can be to lose a woman that you've given your entire life to. If you're truly heartbroken, my friend, and we've all been there as men, you better hit the gym. You have nothing else to do. Stop watching YouTube. Stop emailing me. I want pictures of you in the gym. Get to fucking work. Heartbreak's a fantastic motivator, as is depression, as is sadness. Great. Look at what's pissing you off and make sure it never happens again. If you were jacked and rich as fuck, she probably wouldn't have left your ass. So get your shit together. Every single man of value went through trauma. It's going to be painful to get strong, painful to get rich. Your heart's going to get broken a bunch of times. You have to be prepared for the pain. If you're not ready for pain, you're never going to be anything that matters. Trauma is such an important part of being a man. And the Matrix talks of trying to say that trauma is terrible and avoid trauma, or if you get trauma, take a pill, and that's unrealistic. Trauma is going to happen to you, and you as a man need to internalize it, accept it, and weaponize it to become the best version of yourself you can be. And that requires mental strength and stoicism.
You need to leave therapy immediately. There is nothing more destructive to the male psyche than sitting down and complaining and crying about your problems to somebody who has their own problems, which they do not even disclose to you. They sit there as if they're some godlike individual who doesn't have their own mistakes, aren't arguing with their own wife, don't have their own bills to pay. And you sit there trying to elicit sympathy, elicit understanding, automatic submission to some idiot with a piece of paper, a PhD he got from a bullshit university. You are dulling your sword because you're complaining that your own sword might cut you. But it's your sword that cuts your enemies. You're denying who you are. You're denying all of the things that made you you. God gave you all of these difficult situations so that you could challenge yourself and you could find the best way to navigate them and stay sane. That is why God gave them to you, so that you can become a better version of yourself. And instead of learning lessons, instead of being thankful to God for the difficult things He's put you through, you instead go and cry to some human, complaining about how something happened 21 years ago. A therapist doesn't have a fucking time machine. And they don't try and make you feel better about what happened. They try and just justify your terrible reaction to said events. Because there's only one human emotion that should come from negative scenario, which is anger. Anger is the most powerful force on planet Earth. Someone can kill a member of your family and you can get sad or you can get angry. Angry gets something done. Sad belongs in the therapy room. But anger belongs out here in the world. Directed anger, focused anger. I'm not saying you start smashing your head against the wall like an idiot. I'm saying that very much like a focused concentration of water through a dam can power a city. That is how your anger should work. You should focus it in the exact direction it needs to go to solve the problem. If you're poor, get angry. If your woman left, get angry. Don't get angry at her for leaving. Get angry at yourself for being left. Don't get angry at the world you're poor. Get angry at yourself because you can't afford all the things you want. Anger is the correct response to any emotion. You know, I'm so anti-therapy, and I've had these conversations so many times with people. Their answer is that I need therapy, supposedly. If I need therapy, how come every single person on the planet knows my name? How come every single time I walk in the room, they're like, Mr. Tate, and everyone starts going, Top G, and getting cameras out? How come I'm an international celebrity with hundreds of millions of fucking dollars? How come when I was thrown in jail and put in a Romanian dungeon for 4 months to stare at the wall, I came out perfectly fine and still destroyed the mainstream media in all of their setup interviews in a way you could never do? How come I'm so monumentally successful and my women never turned on me and all I do is win, and you're telling me that I need therapy while you're in therapy and you're a nobody? I don't need therapy. I self-therapize. And I self-therapize with anger because anger makes me brave. And my bravery has allowed me to grab demons by the neck. People say to me, oh, I have anxiety. And they talk about it like it's a bad thing. You have anxiety over stupid shit. Keep your anxiety demon, and now have anxiety that you're not rich. Get to the point where you can't sit still and watch Netflix and eat ice cream because you are too anxious about the fact that you don't have $100 million. You might start doing some work. Oh, I have depression. Fantastic, I'm glad you have depression. Because you won't feel depressed on a yacht with 20 supermodels, 300 million in the bank, and a Bugatti waiting for you in the marina. So it's a good thing you have depression because you don't have those things, and now you have to get them to feel better, so get to work. I have OCD. You have OCD over dumb shit like arranging your Star Wars figurines like a fucking child. You should have OCD about getting your life in order, about being in the gym on time, about training harder than everyone around you, about getting some money in your bank. You don't have to get rid of these conditions. Get out of therapy. I publicly state that I have anxiety. I have governments trying to kill me, getting thrown in and out of jail at random, all of my assets seized, 9 baby mamas, my Jesco's broken, my private jet was clicking on the way here making a strange noise. I know they're trying to kill me anyway. I have anxiety, but I use my anxiety so that I wake up at 6:15 a.m. instantly enraged, getting to work so I win. You have dulled your sword, so you have nothing to threaten the demons with because you're too busy sitting around in therapy like a little girl. When anxiety turns up, you cower before it with your little weak, dull sword. I pull my blade and say, you now work for me. I have depression. I have OCD. I have all of it. These demons work for me. That is how I've conquered the world. If you're at home complaining, I have OCD, I have anxiety, I have depression, you need to get these demons in check. They are your weapons against mediocrity. Therapists will never tell you that. A therapist will say, oh, we have to get rid of your anxiety. Just bend over, spread your butt cheeks. We're going to get rid of your anxiety. It's not a perfect world. It's a world of war and endless combat and chaos. My legion of darkness is made up of monsters because monsters fight monsters. I can only beat my enemies because of all my flaws, because of all my conditions, because of everything that's wrong with me. There's things wrong with me, supposedly, but all of those things work for me. And it seems that whenever I direct my chi at any task, even escaping the highest level matrix setup in the most corrupt country on the map, I somehow managed to pull it off. You think I got out of this Romanian bullshit situation with luck? You think I just sat around and the law helped me, or I was lucky? I woke up 4 or 5 times a night. I could not sleep. When you wake up and you cannot sleep, you know what you do? You lay in bed and cry like a baby. The second I couldn't sleep, I was up, training, working, reading the Romanian law, learning a new language, finding Aikido, the European Court of Human Rights, new legal teams, new money, new ways to combat their narratives, fighting the BBC, preparing for interviews, endless sex, endless reps, anxiety, OCD, fucking depression, everything. That's how I won.
You need to get very comfortable and very used to the idea of understanding that on your path to greatness, there are going to be long periods of time where you hate what you are doing, where you are dissatisfied with the actions you must undertake, where you are tired, where you are stressed. That is why most people won't make it. If the path was easy, everybody would walk it and it would lead nowhere. 100 people start the path, 99 fall off because it is difficult, and the one person who makes it to the end gets the gold. If all 100 made it to the end and the gold was divided by 100, it wouldn't even be worth anything. The difficulty gives it value. The fact that it is difficult to do is the key component into the fact you want it in the first place. If it wasn't difficult, everyone would have it and you wouldn't want it because no one would respect it. It's supposed to be hard. Life is supposed to be hard. You're supposed to think this is terrible and smile through the pain regardless. Discipline is the key to success in all realms as a man. And if you lack it, you stand no chance. You can give most people a roadmap to success. You can give them a Ferrari with a full tank of gas, and a lot of people still wouldn't make the destination because they would say the drive is too far away. There are duties that men must fulfill, whether to God or to your bloodline. Your own father's ashamed of you, and you don't even feel fucking motivated to do shit. If you were to go and look your father in the eye and said, you know what, I could have been a UFC champion, I could have been a multimillionaire, I could have been a race car driver, I could have been a fucking nuclear physicist, could have done all these things, but I was busy on Pornhub. You think he's gonna be proud of you? As good as I am, I still push myself to the limit every single fucking day. I have every single thing a man could possibly want. I'm still pushing myself. This is your prerogative as a man, but you need to be instilled with a sense of duty to your bloodline. You must want it. You need to want it deep inside your soul. I can't die as anything less than emperor.
And I think you're only going to be happy if you're conquering. But if you're living a semi-comfortable life and your mother is nice to you and you're not under any pressure and the Matrix is telling you it's fine to just be average, well, then you're going to be sitting there being average. I was never comforted. I was never given an easy life. I never had anyone in my life who was saying, don't worry, Andrew, it's okay. I was told the opposite all the time. I don't know if the fire inside of me is any bigger than it is inside of every other man. And I think that every man at home watching this, if they don't have the things they want in life, should feel a degree of resentment towards themselves or disappointment, understanding that they have the same desire and drive that I have. They just allowed themselves to be psyoped out of it. They've allowed the Matrix or whoever to convince them it's okay to not be the man they could be. And I never allowed anybody to do that to me. And I think that the correct mental model for men to have is a degree of stoicism and not to be too concerned with even how they feel. If I woke up today happy, I would have done this interview with you. If I woke up today sad, I would have done this interview with you. Why put so much importance on my emotion if certain things must be done? I must work, I must train, I must resist the Matrix. I've got things to do. So why are we going to sit around and talk about how I feel if it doesn't even affect how I act? And the masculine world is hyper competitive. All the women want a few men at the top. It's hyper competitive. So if you're competing against every other man for every dollar you make, every girl you see, the car you drive, the life you live, you're not going to be able to compete with the person who performs regardless of how they feel if you only compete when you feel like competing. Making things happen is the masculine essence to how you should approach the world. If you're a man, you sit there and go, oh my God, it's so cold and it rained on me. A woman's going to think you're gay. And she's right. A real man, he will go out there and do and happen to things. He won't have things happened to him. He doesn't take things because that's feminine. So you're here trying to take things from the universe, whether they are good or bad. That is feminine. You need to go and you need to give to the universe. You need to give. And then there will be a reflection and equal and opposite force, Newton's third law, and you will be monumentally rewarded. You have to go and get things. You have to show that you deserve them. And you should be very careful when you talk in general, talking about things happening to you. So I could say to a woman, the Romanians locked me up and put me in jail and took all my cars. Instead, I say, I told the truth against the Matrix, and they feared me, so they counterattacked. They didn't do shit to me. I did it to them. And when they counterattacked, I used it as an opportunity to do more push-ups than ever before. I've never done so many daily push-ups in jail. And I became a more formidable opponent. I became a better version of myself. So who won? I'm still breathing. I'm still renowned. Who won here? I won. I got to explore a brand new level of the map. I got a brand new experience. I got to build further on my mental fortitude. What did I lose? Some money? You're not strong. You don't love anybody. If you love your women and you love your children, you're strong. If you sit and say, I love them, but I'm tired. Don't love them that much. Men are based on their utility. We are based on what we can do for others. And if you're weak, you don't have utility. Because the essential and most important utility as a man is to resist enslavement. And weak people can't. That's why weak leaders are the worst. You can't be a good friend to any other man if you're weak. Because you can have the best of intentions for me. When push comes to shove, you can either do nothing or will sell me out. Weakness is the most disgusting thing on a man. Women smell it. There's a reason they love strong men. And I really believe if you love anybody, you're going to try your very best to become strong. That's not just physically. It's mentally, it's financially, it's in all ways.
You ever seen a flea? One of the smallest insects. But for his height, a flea can jump, has a 36-inch vertical. The average person can't do that. If you capture the flea and you put him in a mayonnaise jar and you put the lid on it, so here he go. He start jumping, but he gonna hit himself on that lid. But after a while, after getting knocked down so many times, the flea makes an adjustment. He got 36 vertical, but since this lid is on, his environment got him now jumping nowhere near what he can. Them fleas have babies, so now guess what? The flea is born with a 36-inch vertical, but because he see his mommy and daddy jumping just barely to the roof, you know what he do? He duplicates that behavior. Until you take the top off of your mayonnaise jar, you're gonna duplicate your surroundings. If you take an oak tree seed and you put it in a 2-foot pot, will never become the oak tree that oak trees are capable of becoming. Ain't nothing wrong with the seed. The seed just fell prey to the environment. You are a seed from God. Don't you allow your environment to dictate the oak tree that you become. Get away from these people that's in your life that ain't doing nothing. Get away from them. I had to do it because I dreamed so big. I want so big because the God I serve is big.
Don't ask for security, ask for adventure. Better to live 30 years full of adventure than 100 years safe in the corner.